Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have a few questions for you today. First question. Do you know the meaning of the word transformation? Second question. What is one thing must happen, required with transformation? Third question. What is one thing most living things, at least human, people, you and I, do not like to happen? And the meaning of the word transformation, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, is a complete or major change in someone or something's appearance, form, etc. Now, in terms of the one thing that must happen with transformations, if you look up internet, there's like transformations require patience and this and that and that and that and that. Well, sometimes, but not always. But the one thing that's consistently happened with every single transformation is change. And the one thing that people, you and I, tend to really do not like in life, being human, is change. That's why the definition of grief is actually the unsettling feelings caused by a change in your familiar routine, right? Any change, because we don't like that as human and it causes us to grieve. Now, what does that get to do with something that we are discussing this week, which is how to change your adversity, your uniqueness that might be a disadvantage to your gift? Well, yesterday we share about seeing it as gift, which is actually a change in your perception, to change on how you see it. And then the other thing that required that will also make it a whole lot easier for you to change your disadvantaging uniqueness into something that is actually a gift that allow you to accomplish what it is that you would love, but doing that with a lot more ease and a lot more fun, and typically a whole lot of faster as well, is to actually your willingness to change. Not just the way you see these things, which we shared yesterday on why it is really good to do, but also to change what you can change. Now, certain things you cannot change. Certain things, because that's why it's your uniqueness. You cannot change it, right? But at the same time, last week we shared about that you have an absolute untouchable freedom to think. You can think that this is a disadvantage, or you can think that this is a gift. You can think that must be this way, or you can think that it might be happen to be able to happen in a different way. You can think that things is gloom and doom, or you can think that, well, it only takes this, and you can choose. You also has the freedom to do what it is that you're doing, and you can choose to not want to do things, or you might be willing to change your way of doing things. Now, Napoleon Hills, if you study Napoleon Hills, he actually said the number one requirement of being able to change your unique disadvantage to something that you would love is burning desire. And I would say yes, it is absolutely true. You must have enough desire. You must have burning desire. You must have really be passionate to it to be able to follow up on things that might at the beginning seems to be an obstacle and create it into a winning thing. But at the same time, if you want to do it with a lot more ease and a lot more fun, alongside from being able to have a burning desire is actually to have the willingness to change. Now, in his example, Napoleon Hill example, it was with his son. So the son was really young. But you and I might encounter something in our life now, or tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or sometime, where you say, okay, well, this is something that you must take care of it yourself. You don't have Napoleon Hill as your father and whispering thing into you as when you were still a baby, right? And so one thing that people are so resistant is change. But to change your result, to change your disadvantage to what it is, what it is, it required you to actually be willing to change. And therefore, the more you are willing to change, it is a whole lot easier for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, to be able to embrace what you need to change. So the willingness to change is and letting go of your attachment on things has to happen in certain way. It's actually a key on being able to change, to turn your disadvantage into gift. And alongside with having a burning desire into that, I have a client. This the person came to me saying that she is she is she is she's a witch or something like that. And the reasons for that is because she has a sister who is very close in age, and the sister is very charming, very beautiful, and so on and so forth in her descriptions. And she is the ugly sister, the ugly sister. And at the same time, she's quite smart and extremely successful. And in her business, in her work, she's fit, but she believed that she's the ugly sister. And also her success come from having disciplines and very strict criteria for herself, which happen to translate, she also has very strict criteria to the type of partner or type of gentleman and therefore husband that she's willing to work with. And this is at latter part. In the earlier part of her life, she was open to anything, and her heart was broken for, probably in her word, every couple months, because nobody just meet her criteria. And understandably, she was broken heart, and at some point she was saying, well, you know what, her strategy after a little time was, she said, well, I know exactly what I want. I would love in a man, and this is what I got to offer. This is what I want from a man. and and therefore, basically, every date that she has turned into an interrogation. Can you imagine this? If you are single, or even if you're not single, you went on a date, and it's basically somebody has this list of like, okay, who would rather that? You're like, and I went, oh, honey, there is that might be a little challenging to people. And so I said, well, what can you change? Is there certain thing you were willing to change? And which honestly was not the best questions probably. And she said, no, this is okay, this is what you would love, great. And then so I said, well, can you perhaps change your approach? How about matchmaking company? Matchmaking company. And she said, well, I tried one. They are nowhere meeting expectations. She's a very successful person with a strong expectation. So they're nowhere meeting expectations. Okay. And then she tried another one, and they said she has too much expectations. They would not even take her as a client. And I said, oh dear, okay. And so what change did we do? what the change we did was I recommend to her, which she adopted, that the next time she meet with somebody, first to meet people at a through different way, but the next time she meets somebody that she feel is qualified, is her exact word, it might be qualified, to actually just openly say to the person, look, this is what has happened and this is why I'm doing this. And I say, well, just hold it with an open hand and see what happened. And did it turn away a couple people? Yes, absolutely, it did. But it made the process a whole lot faster and a lot less painful than her. And they're looking at her like, am I in a police interrogations right now? And so that with that, and with her approach, I believe it was her third dates that she actually met the person, and the gentleman said, oh wow, I appreciate it because I kind of see things in the same way and I just never do it the way you do it, and I turn away a lot of people. Hello. So hey, they said, okay, well, apparently in that way we are a match, and they keep going and they keep going, and she's been married for a couple of years now, happily and thankfully. And so what change can you embrace? What attachment can you let go? And perhaps it is your way of thinking, do one thing, but it is also possible that it is your way of doing things. Perhaps it's something that you've done all along. And so what change can you welcome in your life if you want to turn your adversity, your disadvantaging uniqueness into something beneficial? Which with my clients, it was her strong nature, her very strong natures, and her very pristine specificity and all these things, that was a very unique thing. I was like, I never seen anybody like that. And then at the same time, she was able to turn that into something beautiful for her, and also this gentleman who happened to be the operate in the same way as she does. And what perhaps the way you look at things. Les Brown, we shared about Les Brown yesterday. Les Brown need to be able to change his thinking and his belief about himself from being the dumb twin into one who's able to do things, who has very unique gift, even though in certain thing he's not able to do well. In other thing, he is very, very, very unique and very special, that make Les Brown the ultra successful twin now. And so what some changes can you welcome in your life? And instead of resisting change, actually look around and say, okay, in addition to my burning desire, just like water need to change form into vapor to be able to reach the cloud, what changes can you welcome in your life? Perhaps it's the way of looking at things, perhaps it's the way of doing things. Feel welcome to share them in the comment below if you'd like to. Feel welcome to reach out to me if you'd like to know what changes you need to do. And feel welcome to share your feedback or to share this video if you'd like to. And this is Bridget, and I love you very, very much. And I see that as you embrace these steps, not only you're going to accomplish what it is that you would love, but even more, you will be able to do that. Turn your unique potentially disadvantage into something magnificent with a lot more ease and a lot more fun and much faster success, creating your beautiful thriving life one day at a time, and a magnificent beautiful thriving life as a whole. And I look forward to see you again very, very soon.